All right, 1.4, solving absolute value equations. So let's say we have this scenario. You want to decorate your friend's locker for their birthday, but don't know which one it is. I also realize it's supposed to be in apostrophe here. There. You know your own is 8, and you find out your friend's locker is 4 lockers away, assuming that the lockers are numbered in sequential order, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Determine your friend's possible locker number. So, lockers are in sequential order. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, so on and so on, so forth. What if we draw a number line? We have our locker is 8. Our friend's locker is 4 lockers away. So 1, 2, So 4 lockers away. What does that mean? We don't know what direction it's in. It could be 4 lockers this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be here. Or it could be 4 lockers this way. 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be here. Adding 4 lockers or subtracting 4 lockers. We don't know. Just to think about it, you might be like, okay, well, duh. 4 lockers, added 4 lockers, it's at either 12 or it's at 4. 4 to the left is at 4. 4 to the right is at 12. But how can we put this into, I guess, an equation form? How can we solve this mathematically? We can figure it out logically. How do we solve this mathematically? This is where absolute value comes into play. Absolute value is like these bars. Like if I have like these horizontal bars of like x minus 2 equals 4 or something. Or like absolute value of 4. Absolute value means the distance from 0. So as a quick refresher, if we have stuff like absolute value of 4, how far away is 4 from 0? 4. Absolute value of -3. How far away is -3 from 0 on a number line? 3. You can also think of it like just getting rid of the negative, right? Because it's just how far is it from 0. And distances can't be negative. You can't have a negative amount of distance. Like absolute value of something, it can't equal anything that's negative. Or even if it's the same number. Doesn't matter. It can't be negative. You can't have a negative amount of inches. So remember this. Distance can't be negative. Absolute value can't be negative. It is always positive because it's just a distance from 0. So, back to this scenario. If we try to use these absolute value bars mean distance. And we know that distance is 4. So whatever happens, the distance is 4. We have our friend's locker. What we don't know is x minus our locker. The distance between friend's locker and our locker is equal to 4, right? It's either 4 to the right, 4 to the left. The distance between you and me is where I'm standing minus where you're standing. Whatever is in between us is 4. Now to solve absolute value equations, normally you split them into 2, right? One positive, one negative of whatever is inside the absolute value bars equal to the positive version of what the equation is equal to. And the other equation is whatever is inside the absolute value bars is equal to the negative version of what it's equal to. But if I write this out, you'll see it's the same thing as what we have up here. Friend's locker minus our locker is 4, positive 4. Or friend's locker minus our locker is negative 4. Same thing as what's up here. Friend's locker minus our locker is either equal to plus 4, positive 4, or friend's locker minus our locker is equal to negative 4, or 4 to the left. And then you just solve the equations normally from here. Trying to isolate x We have a minus 8, so we add 8 to both sides. X is equal to 12 on this side. Add 8 to both sides. X is equal to 4 on this side. And that matches up with what we have here, right? Either x is equal to 4 or x is equal to 12. And maybe this makes sense, maybe it doesn't. If it doesn't, that's okay, because ultimately what you need to remember is how to solve these equations of splitting them into two. I'll still go some more examples. But if it does help you, then it helps you a lot. Especially in remembering that the absolute value is just the distance it is from 0, and it can't be negative. That's really it. So, let's do some examples. Let's do absolute value of v plus 5 is equal to 10. So we're going to split these into two different equations. I should actually move this over here. Split these into two different equations. One that's equal to positive, and one that's equal to negative. Because ultimately what we're doing by splitting it into these two is we're getting rid of the absolute value bars. Because we're saying one where we're going to the left and one where we're going to the right of the number line. And then we solve like normal. Subtract 5 from both sides. V is equal to 5 over here. Subtract 5 from both sides. V is equal to negative 15 over here. And if you're nice to me, you'll format your answer like this. V is equal to 5, comma, negative 15. And that's what you box. Just listing it off like a list of all the values that the variable can be equal to. Let's try another one. M minus 2 equals 5. Two different equations. One positive, one negative. One positive equal to the whatever's inside the bars equal to a negative. Solve like normal. Plus 2, those cancel. M equals 7. Plus 2 on both sides, those cancel. M is equal to negative 3. So M is equal to 7, comma, negative 3. And that's what you box. Next example. Absolute value of q plus 8 is equal to negative 3. You might be thinking, okay, now we have to do the same thing. Two different equations, one equals positive. Positive negative 3 is 3. One equals negative. It's already negative, so it's negative 3. But hold on, just wait. This one, any work you're doing is wrong. Because this one actually has no solution. Why? Because pay attention. What's the absolute value equal to? A negative. Can absolute values be equal to a negative? No. Because distances can't be negative. So you have to pay attention. Is the absolute value equal to a negative? If so, there's no solution. Distances can't be negative. So always pay attention to that. A couple more examples for you. Just going to write these out, and then if you want to try them on your own, you can. I won't be doing the work for these. I'll just be writing the answers so that you can check your work. So, this one, r equals 2, comma 6. This one you might have already noticed. No solution. And this one, c is equal to negative 2, comma negative 10. R is equal to negative 1, comma negative 3. K is equal to 2, or to 0, comma 2. And is equal to 7, comma 5. So, Those are all one-step absolute values with just addition, subtraction. Let's do some multiplication division. 4m, absolute value of 4m is equal to 20. We do the same exact thing. Split it up into two different equations. One of them is equal to whatever inside the absolute value bars, equal to the positive version of the equals. And then whatever is equal to whatever is inside the absolute value bars, equal to the negative version of what is equals. Same exact stuff. 4m, the same thing as 4 times n, so you divide, those cancel. M equals 5 over here, divide by 4, divide by 4. M equals negative 5 over here. So m equals 5, comma negative 5. Pretty straightforward, right? I'll do another multiplication example. Absolute value of negative 5n is equal to 30. Split that into 2. Negative 5n equals 30. Negative 5n equals negative 30. Divide by negative 5. Divide by negative 5. N over here is equal to negative 6. N over here is equal to positive 6. So n equals negative 6, comma 6. Now let's do a division one. Absolute value of r divided by 6 equals 3. Still the same thing. Split into 2. R divided by 6 equals positive. R divided by 6 equals negative. How do you get rid of division? You multiply both sides. So multiply both sides by 6, and we just do it for all of them. Those cancel. R equals 3 times 6, 18. Those cancel. R equals negative 3 times 6, negative 18. R is equal to 18, comma, negative 18. Another one as an example. A divided by 6 is equal to negative 3. Equal to a negative 3. Negative 3. No solution. Distances can't be negative. Remember. Some practice problems for you to do on your own. Absolute value of negative 6g is equal to 30. Absolute value of x divided by 5 is equal to 3. Absolute value of negative 4n is equal to 12. And absolute value of m divided by 4 is equal to 3. So we have g over here is equal to negative 5, comma 5. X over here is equal to 15, comma negative 15. N over here is equal to negative 3, comma 3. And m is equal to 12, comma negative 12. So just some practice for you. If you want to try to do those on your own. Now that's the last of the single step. Now we're going to move on to multi-step. For example, absolute value of negative k plus 1 is equal to 3. Still do the same thing. Two different equations. Negative k plus 1 equals positive 3. Negative k plus 1 equals negative 3. Solve them like you would normally. PEMDAS. Reverse PEMDAS. PEMDAS. Same thing as two-step stuff. This is two-step stuff. Addition, subtraction first. So subtracting 1 first. So negative k is equal to 2. As a reminder, negative k is equal to the same thing as negative 1 times k. Multiplication, division. Take care of that next. Divide both sides by negative 1. K is equal to negative 2 on this side. The other side, subtract 1 first, cancel out. Negative k is equal to negative 4. Divide by negative 1. K is equal to 4. So k is equal to negative 2, comma 4. Same exact stuff that you've been doing, two-step stuff, except now you have two different equations to solve for. Let's try another one. 10 plus 5n is equal to 5. Two different equations. 10 plus 5n is equal to positive 5. 10 plus 5n is equal to negative 5. PEMDAS, subtraction first. You can do both at the same time. Subtraction first, those cancel, those cancel. 5n is equal to negative 5 over here. 5n is equal to negative 15 over here. Divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5, divide by 5. Those cancel. N is equal to negative 1. These cancel. N is equal to negative 3. So n is equal to negative 1, comma negative 3. Another example. 5m minus 8. Absolute value of 5m minus 8 equals 13. Two different equations. 5m minus 8 equals 13. 5m minus 8 equals negative 13 plus 8. Both sides. Those cancel. 5m equals 21. Yeah, 21. Divide by 5, divide by 5. 5 doesn't go into 21 evenly, and that's okay. You can just leave it like that as a fraction. It can't be simplified any further either, so just leave it like that. Over here, plus 8 plus 8. 5m, negative 13 plus 8 equals negative 5. Divide by 5. M equals negative 1. So m equals 21 over 5 divided by negative 1. If you're in my class, keep things as a simplified fraction. Another example. 3 plus 7m equals 25. Again, two different equations. 3 plus 7m equals positive 25. 3 plus 7m equals negative 25. Minus 3, minus 3, minus 3, minus 3. Cancel, cancel. 7m is equal to 22 over here. 7m is equal to negative 28 over here. Divide by m, divide by m, or divide by 7. Divide by 7, divide by 7. Those cancel, those cancel. M is equal to 22 over 7. That's already simplified fraction. Negative 28 divided by 7 is negative 3, so m is equal to 22 divided by 7, comma, negative 3. Now, some practice for you to do on your own if you'd like some. I'm not going to go through these. I'll just give the answers if you want to check yourself. So we have absolute value of negative 4k plus 9 is equal to 37. Here, k is equal to negative 7, comma 23 over 2. Absolute value of 2x plus 3 is equal to 15. Here, x is equal to 6, comma negative 9. Absolute value of 10 minus 2p is equal to 26. P is equal to negative 8 and 18. An absolute value of 3p minus 2 equals 17. P is equal to 19 over 3 and negative 5. So, if you want to practice those, you can. Otherwise, that's kind of the end of the lesson. So, solving absolute value equations. If you remember, absolute value means a distance from 0. Distance from 0. Which also means it can't be negative, because distances can't be negative. Solving for an absolute value equation, you split it into two. One where you have what's inside the absolute value equal to the positive of what it's equal to, and one where you have what's inside the absolute value equal to the negative of what it's equal to. And you just solve like normal. You'll have two different numbers. You box your final answer like this. If it's a negative, it is no solution. And as a quick thing, if you have something equal to 0, I could say 2x plus 2 equals 0. You're going to be like, okay, split into 2. Okay, 2x plus 2 equals positive 0. 2x plus 2 equals negative 0. Can 0 be negative? Not really. So you just don't even do it. It's the same thing. Negative 0 is the same thing as positive 0, so it's just the same thing as that. Minus 2, minus 2. 2x equals negative 2, divided by 2, divided by 2. X equals negative 1. And that's it. So, like I said, absolute value split into two different equations, one positive, one negative. If it's equal to a negative, there's no solution. If it's equal to a 0, it only has one solution, because there's technically two solutions. So, as usual, if you have any questions, you can email me if you have it, or if you're in my class, you can ask me next time I see you. And see ya.